Okay, so some work with surds, and the first thing here is it's saying rationalise this denominator. So that means we don't want the square root, the surd itself, to be on the bottom, the denominator position. So we multiply by 1 by making 1 in a special way. The root of 3 divided by the root of 3 is 1. So we're not changing the value of this, we're just going to change the way it looks. And the way this works is because the root of 3 times the root of 3, well, the rules of surds say that we can put the two square roots into the same square root, into a single square root, sorry. And 3 times 3 is 9, and we know the root of 9 is 3. The square root of 9 is 3. So we'll end up with an integer value on the bottom here, which is what we want. So in doing this multiplication, it's just like fraction multiplication. So we multiply the numerators, so we end up with 12 root 3's, and then we multiply the denominators, which we've seen over here, will just give us 3. The question said rationalise. We should always look to see whether things simplify, and we can see here that 12 divided by 3 is 4. So we must remember to simplify down as far as we can to get full marks. So 4 root 3. This next one says work out the value of this bracket squared. So please be careful. Bracket squared means that we're doing the same bracket times itself. Squaring times by itself. So we're doing the same bracket times by itself. And because of the rules of surds where we do the multiples of roots is going to be the same, so we're into a single root with the two things multiplied together. So we're going to use this fact with these. So lots of ways of doing this. I just like the grid because it just makes it neat and tidy to see where everything is. We're multiplying. So I've got the root of 2 times the root of 2, which is just 2. I've got the root of 2 times the root of 8, which is the root of 16. 2 8s are 16, and the root of 16 is 4. I've got the root of 8 times the root of 2, which is the same as the root of 16, which again is 4. And then I've got the root of 8 times the root of 8, which becomes 8 8s are 64, and the root of 64 is 8. So basically we've got 2 plus 4 plus 4 plus 8, which makes 18. So the answer here will be 18. Just to confirm what happened there, if I do one example, this one here, we're doing the root of 8 times the root of 2. The rule says that we can put these into the same square root, so we end up doing the root of 8 times 2, which is the same as doing the root of 16, because 8 times 2 is 16, and we recognise the square root of a square number is just an integer, so that's 4, because 4 times 4 gave you 16. So that's a little bit of work on surds, just to remind you, rationalising, multiply by root over the root, and then cancel down as far as you can, simplify down. And with this one, we're just using this rule of surds that says times a square root by a square root. It's the same as putting it into a single square root with the two things multiplied together inside that single square root. And just remembering that if we're squaring a bracket, it means a bracket times a bracket. It doesn't mean you square that and square that. Careful with that one, guys. Common mistake if you're not careful.